Tyler Sandberg. I'm a junior at Oswego High School, and tonight you get to hear me talk about things that really I don't bring up to a lot of different people. When I was thinking about things to do for Coffee House, I consider myself a music person, so I was thinking maybe I could write a song, something original, bring the spice of life to something with like a lot of other people have done music, and I'm sure you've heard every single one of them. So I figured, maybe not go that route this year. So I thought that I should do something a lot of people decided not to do. There's the last year's example of the improv, banjo and dance numbers and all that. But I thought back and I went through all my old memories of Coffee House, and I wanted to find something that not a lot of people do. So I looked through, and I didn't really have a lot of time to think of something really creative. I wrote this about 2 hours before my audition, and so since then I've touched it up a little bit, but it's still kind of choppy. But I came to the realization that my life is something that was really sort of interesting. It's like looking at the Demon at Great America and thinking to yourself, man, that looks sick, there's no line, and it's pretty intense, I'm gonna go ride that, and you get on the ride and you leave with a concussion and want your money back. But that's when it hit me. Kira Gonzalez, she tells the most wonderful poetry, why can't I do it? So I go onto my Instagram, I log into my Finsta, and I put in on my Finsta story, should I do poetry? And 71% of people said yes, so I was like, dang it, now I have to actually think of something. So I sat down on my computer and I tried for about 3 minutes, and this is what I got. Life is crazy sometimes, like an escalator that's turned off. Sometimes just better to take the stairs, and that's exactly what I did. And then I scrapped the whole idea. But I thought, why write poetry when you can write without guidelines? Now, for anybody that's actually written poetry before, I know what you're thinking, that's just free verse poetry. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't call myself a poetry aficionado, so I just decided that I would call it a spoken word and cover all the bases. I can be funny and serious at the same time, and that's really the way to get to people, Like, you can't walk into a room and expect your first interaction with someone to go seamlessly without some sort of icebreaker involved, and for me, that's comedy. There's comedy every day in my life, and it's really what defines me as a person. Whenever I think about my life, a lot of it really isn't all that funny, though. I grew up a child of 2 parents who loved each other and had 3 siblings whom I had a really hard time getting along with. There was one time in particular that my sister was getting on my nerves, so I took a giant one of those yellow Legos, like a Mega Block, and I chucked it at her head. I was 7 at the time, and I thought that it was okay, but, obviously, now that I'm grown up and all that, I know that it's not okay to chuck Mega Blocks at your sister's head. And as I got older, I understood more about the world. I realized the difference between right and wrong and started maturing as a person. But that didn't stop me from getting a Saturday school for being a kid in the no-no zone for stabbing me with a pencil. In theory, it's kind of offsetting, like he did a bad thing and I did a bad thing. And, administration didn't understand that, so I ended up getting Saturday school anyways. But I spent the entire Saturday in a room full of delinquents, and I was like, man, how did I get to this spot? I never felt so evil. But my time in middle school was definitely one I'll never forget. It's where I found myself and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So I remember one time in particular that I was late for an extracurricular group rehearsal, and I busted through the front door and had a breakdown in my friend's living room. I was having such a hard time feeling like I was making a difference, I just wanted to help people, so, being the public servant that I am, I decided I would devote my life to studying clouds. There's nothing I want more in life than to have a job where I can be wrong about 60% of the time and be the over 20% echelon paying job in the United States. It's a great job to have. Meteorology has been a love of mine since I was a kid. My mom and I spent 15 minutes every morning watching Channel 9 News and watching the weather reports. I would always kind of crave the chance of dancing around in the rain, and then I get scared, back inside when lightning happened. But weather brought my mom and I together, and for the majority of my childhood, she was my best friend. So when she passed away, you'd think that I'd be devastated, and for a while I was. It's never easy to lose someone that you're very close to, let alone your mom. But if there was ever an example of why Silver Linings Playbook is a modern-day masterpiece, it's got to be my life. My dad and I were never really the closest people in the world, especially not during my childhood. I would routinely be afraid to mess up in front of him, and I would always go to my mom for support and help if I ever needed it. But when my mom moved on, that changed. My dad has become one of my best friends my entire life. He's sitting right there. It means everything in the world for me, just to have you here and listen to what I have to say. And I would describe the relationship that I have with my dad as like the relationship between Marley and Owen Wilson and Marley and me. To this day, I can go to him for anything. My family is going to be one of the biggest support systems in my life, and it makes dealing with the tough stuff a lot easier. I think of my family like flex tape. Good for everything, you can never have enough. Thank you.